Hi, I'm Chad with Move Forward Guitar. This lesson is from our series, How to Read Music for Guitar. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about pickup notes. First off, if you like all the diagrams for this series, including the diagrams for this lesson, you can download our free e-guide, How to Read Music for Guitar. But I am working on it right now as I'm filming this lesson, so it might not be available as you're watching this lesson. If it is available, a link will pop up on the screen that'll allow you to download it. And like I said, it's free, so there's no reason not to download it when it is available. This is part 31 from our series, How to Read Music for Guitar. If you'd like to go back and start at the beginning, you can click the link on the screen. So in this lesson, I'm going to talk about pickup notes, or what's called a pickup measure, or the actual name is Anacrusis. And what that is a note or a sequence of notes that precede the first downbeat of the first bar. And a downbeat is the first beat of each bar. So if we were going to have pickup notes before what's written right here, they would happen before this first beat, which this is the first bar. This is the first measure right here. And that could look like this. So now you can see we have this extra eighth note that's happening before these notes and before this bar, and this is still the first bar. What's happening here is called a pickup note. And you can recognize pickup notes because their note values don't equal what the time signature is representing. So for example, we have one bar of an eighth note. Well, that's obviously not 4/4 time, because 4/4 time is 4 quarter notes per bar. So anytime you have notes in what looks like the first measure not equaling what the time signature says, those are pickup notes. And it can be any note value. For example, this is a quarter note instead of an eighth note. Just as long as the note value doesn't equal what the time signature is saying, it's less than what the time signature is saying. So for example, this is 1 quarter note. Well, there should be 4 quarter notes in a bar to equal 4/4 time. Or this is 1 eighth note. There should be 8 eighth notes in a bar to equal 4/4 time, or some combination of note values that equal 4/4 time. And it could be one note like those two are, or it could be multiple notes. For example, here's 2 eighth notes. But still, that doesn't equal 4/4 time. This would just equal 1 quarter note if you added the 2 eighth notes together. So even though there's notes written here, this is still the first bar. And you know it's bar 1 because it's the first bar where the note values equal the time signature. Here's a quarter note, here's a quarter note, half note, which equals 2 quarter notes. That equals 4/4 time. So that's how you know it's the first bar. This isn't, because these notes don't equal 4/4 time. And so if we went back to the one that just has an eighth note to start, the way you would count this is important, because you need to be able to count it so that you start right on your first downbeat in the correct spot. And the way to do that would actually be to count the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would count the and then you're on to your first measure, your first downbeat. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and right on that and is where you play that note, and then 1, you're into your first measure. So you would still count the beats. You'd count it just like you normally count music. So depending what's going on here is how you would count it, but you always count your beats, your quarter note beats, and then since you're playing that note, you count the and then you're into your first measure with the first downbeat. So that's just an important concept to understand when you're reading music, because you're going to come across pickup notes a lot. And just be aware that if the notes that are in what looks like the first bar don't equal the time signature, if they don't add up to what the time signature is saying, those are pickup notes. And you just count it like normal. So you would count like the rest of the notes are in here, or rest, until you got to the first measure on the first downbeat. So that's an explanation of pickup notes. Go ahead and move on to the next lesson, where I'm going to talk about staccato and legato. And be sure to download the e-guide. All the diagrams are in there. And be sure to subscribe, because we had at least one new lesson every day.